Hello everyone, it is Melissa and I'm back with another layout, starting off by showing you right up front there a free cut file from Jillibean Soup, which I will link in the description box below. I was inspired to use that by a ton of other projects that I saw online, but Erica from Erica Rose Creates, I believe that's her channel, I was inspired by one of her layouts. So anyway, let's get to it. So you saw there in the beginning, or if you didn't, that I was using an Allie Edwards from the Stories by the Month Club, one of the Project Life cards that came in one of the kits, and I want to say the kit was February. And so, yeah, that was kind of an inspiring thing for an anniversary layout that I'm going to be doing. And so I can stay up with the project here, I will jump a little bit around. So that is the cut file. We are better together. And I don't want to say this is the first time I've ever backed up a cut file. I don't do it often because, I quite frankly, if I'm being honest, I don't have the patience. So, but I thought it'd be fun in this instance. So I showed you there from Pink Paisley, the Turn the Page number 12 piece of paper. I'm going to use that. On the back side was the B side, and it was kind of like a light blue with the small pattern on it. And I'm just going to randomly select squares that I want to use for each letter. I will in fact pull for a couple letters just some basic B pattern papers from my stash, and finish up with that. So I don't make you watch the whole process of doing that. It was very tedious. It took me quite some time. So here's it all done. I think it turned out awesome. I am going to use a piece of white cardstock as well as a piece from crepe paper, and it is from the Cute Girl collection. You can see there it's like in minty green with some very light teal polka dots in the background. And I also pulled from a Vicky Bouton ephemera pack just some elements that I liked and kind of matched the color scheme that I'm going with. So I'm going to trim down some papers here, but while I'm doing that, I am going to talk about the products that I pulled from my product jar in the beginning. I in fact get all of them used except mists. So I picked miscellaneous dies, punches, ribbon, frames, flare, and labels. And you saw there, I have that turquoise, tealy green piece of cardstock, and I used my Stampin' Up! Scallop border punch on that. I'm pulling in some punches. I also have some ribbon pulled from Stampin' Up!, a lighter blue. And so right now I'm just trimming down the photo. A little bit ago I showed you I had from crepe paper, I'm not sure what that collection is, but a chipboard frame, and I'm going to use that because I liked the colors and they matched with what I was using from the Paige Evans paper. I'm also going to jump around a little bit and talk to you about, so this is, I mentioned an anniversary layout, and that card, which I think, not sure, but I think it was for my February kit, that says, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. And, that speaks volumes. Anybody who is married for, any length of time knows that that is not easy. Not for the weak by any means. And it takes work, but also you have to be brave enough to give it everything you got and then some. And just when you want to give up, give it 110% more. So my husband and I celebrated in 2019 our 18th wedding anniversary. We've been together for 21 years. This was our 21st summer together. I did a layout last year of our 20th year together. And oddly enough, if I remember, I will link that video in the description box below. I want to say it was one of my first process videos. Don't quote me on that. Or I will link it in the top of the box here. But anyways, last summer was our 20th summer together, and I even wore the same outfit. So kind of fun. So you can see there to the left, I have that piece of pattern paper all chopped up beautifully. And right here I'm using a label from my product jar. That's just from the, don't mind my hair, you guys, it's a hot mess. That's just from the Vicki Boutin ephemera pack. The You Are My Favorite piece of ephemera, I just pulled that from the Vicki Boutin ephemera pack as well. And I also have some, what I consider brads, but realistically they are just the standalone brads from A Life in Color from Simple Stories and an Amy Tan gold medal flare. And I am going to use those as my elements, as well as bring in some enamel dots. So I am gluing this down. I kind of toyed with the idea of giving it some dimension with some foam, but decided it didn't need it. So I'm just making sure this is level, because God help me if it's not, I will just lose my mind, because words that aren't straight, that have such a big impact like this title, I won't sleep at night, you guys. It's crazy. I'd have to make that work. So always want to double check. That's the other reason why I use a liquid adhesive. Gives me a little bit of wiggle room, and I need it, because my brain just doesn't work like that. So yeah, you can see also I have the border ready and set, punched there, and I also have the ribbon that I'm going to eventually adhere down and use for another element of texture, my Tim Holtz tiny attacher. I will eventually end up using that as well on the label that's at the top of our photo. So in fact, the only stamp that I get used on this page is a stamp from Stamp It Up. It's from Good Greetings, and it says it says I Love Us. And I also went ahead and added the numbers 18, and those were from My Favorite Things, the little numbers, and I just die cut those with some red paper that I just cut out from the Paige Evans, that scrap there. I'm just gonna kind of center these embellishments, or these the Project Life card and my picture. Those elements I'm just gonna try to center, and I'll just do a tiny bit of other embellishing. You guys know I like to tuck here and there, so it's not going to be a lot though, because to be honest, that title, I know I mentioned it before, but it took me a long time, and I want that sucker to shine, no doubt about it. That was some blood, sweat, and tears. I love when people sew on their pages, hand sew on their pages, do all kinds of backing up cut files types of things. Love it. It's just something I have to be in the mood for. I don't do it very often, and every time I do, I'm reminded why. So there I am showing you from a scrap. I added the 18, and I've already mentioned that. I also have 2 paper clips at the top of that Project Life card. I'm actually going to switch those out, and in fact, switch them out for a Stampin' Up clip. I liked better, and it's just a single clip, which is fine. I have the 2 elements there, my 2 Simple Story brads, and my Amy Tan. I like to remove the pop dot from the back of that and add a just a glue dot. For some reason, I like that better. So you can see I'm showing you I Love Us. There, I stamped it in some Altenew gray, and I just put it on some white cardstock and tucked it behind that paper clip. And I think that turned out super cute. I also, underneath the quote there on the Project Life card, I went ahead and stamped the date, which this is from April of 2019. And I'm just going to, add these 2 pieces of paper in. That turquoise, is a scrap from the border that I have running across my layout in the middle there. And the blue that I'm tucking, that's actually the back side, the B side of the Paige Evans number 12 paper. And yeah, I think this turned out really great. Again, I'm sorry for my big head. I love that my eye is immediately drawn to the photo because it's so vibrant. I left it in color on purpose. And as you read left and right, it goes from the photo to that beautiful quote on the right and, down to the title, which I think is fantastic. So, because, you and your significant other, you are better together because of, being when I'm not with him, I feel like, gosh, I wish he was here. And when he is here, I'm like, gosh, I wish he would just go do something. I know it's so crazy, but it's real life. So yeah, I'm just going to use some crochet twine. I toyed with doing like a fun twirly knot, but decided to go with just a bow. And then at the top there, because I decided not to add journaling, I figured, you know, we didn't do anything, so there wasn't really, this is just in our driveway taking a photo, a selfie. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to add with my typewriter some journaling that says happy anniversary, and that's going to go on the top right. And then from a Tim Holtz from the Small Talk occasions, I found a sticker that said count your blessings, and I certainly am blessed. I know I've mentioned that a ton. All over my house, I have, you know, artwork that says I'm blessed and I'm thankful because in fact, I know, yeah, I got myself a great guy. Like I mentioned, not easy, but I'm very, very, very blessed. So, yeah, that being said, this layout is coming to a wrap. This was a quick, aside from the title, this was a quick layout to do. So I'm going to show you some close-ups. There'll be some still shots at the end. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. A lot of this stuff is old. I do have a couple pieces of newer pattern paper I picked out from a store by me locally. And so, yeah, again, I will put the links to my Facebook and to my Instagram, and I would love a thumbs up. I would, of course, totally love for you to subscribe. And I'll be back next week with another project to share. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for taking time out to watch this video. And I will be back soon. You guys have a great week. Thanks. Bye.